Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
48-year-old Jenny Cudd of Texas is a former Republican mayoral candidate. She was seen in surveillance video inside the Capitol. She's also another stable genius who broadcast her crimes on social media. Cudd live streamed to Facebook from inside the Capitol, and she said, quote, "We did break down the Nancy Pelosi's door and somebody stole her gavel." In another video, Cudd admitted that they, quote, pushed, and she meant like pushed their way into the Capitol. She said that, after they found out that Pence didn't go along with Trump and Eastman's plot to try to steal the election, their felony plot. In another Facebook video, Cudd said, quote, "We, the Patriots, did storm the U.S. Capitol. Yes, I would absolutely do it again." She doubled down on that sentiment in another follow-up video, also posted on Facebook, and she said, quote, "Hell yes, I am proud of my actions." Then again, in another video, she said, quote, "I'm proud of everything that I was a part of today, and I'll be proud of everything that I'm a part of at the next one." So Cudd was arrested on January 13th of last year. She was charged with the felony of obstructing an official proceeding, as well as the common 4 misdemeanors: entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and 1 count of parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Well, in October, Cudd pleaded guilty to the 1 count of entering a restricted building or grounds. That misdemeanor is punishable by up to 1 year in prison, up to 1 year of probation, and up to $100,000 in fines. However, the prosecutors were only asking for 75 days in jail, 1 year of supervised release, and then 60 hours of community service. The prosecutors told the judge, we believe Cudd deserves some jail time because, number one, she went to the Capitol seemingly expecting violence because they say she wore a bulletproof sweatshirt. She also admitted to pushing against law enforcement, whether she meant, we collectively, like a figure of speech or not. I mean, she said we pushed. They also say that she celebrated the destruction of the property at the Capitol after she left. And then they also pointed to the fact, obviously, that she has no remorse for her actions. And she says she'll do it again. She proudly proclaimed, "Yep, I'll do it again, and I'll be proud of the next time," right? Well, unfortunately, Judge Trevor McFadden presided over Cudd's case. I have to tell you guys, I know I've been very hard on Judge Dabney Friedrich. This guy makes Dabney Friedrich look tough by comparison. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that McFadden is a 100% January 6th sympathizer. And this is based on his own statements. He has constantly tried to compare the attack at the Capitol to BLM protests last summer, to which I say is bullshit. There is absolutely no comparison. Peaceful BLM protesters were treated far worse than these violent attempted insurrectionists and domestic terrorists. McFadden also tries to compare it to the protesters who had to be removed from the Capitol when they were there disrupting the confirmation hearings for accused attempted rapist Brett Kavanaugh. Again, no comparison whatsoever. No one brought a weapon to the Capitol that day. They didn't break windows. They didn't climb into the building illegally. They didn't violently attack police. And then they didn't cause millions of dollars worth of damage to the building. They simply stood up and shouted and interrupted the proceeding. And then they were removed and it was all over with. So McFadden clearly has his head so far up Trump's ass, and there has to be a TV up there somewhere, and it's tuned to faux news channel, quote unquote news. So he can't turn the channel. He can't reach it, apparently. Anyway, Judge Friedrich might be biased, she might be naive, but McFadden is an unbelievably partisan jackass who just needs to be removed. He needs to be removed from the bench. There's no way he can remain. It's that ridiculous. Anyway, now that I have that off my chest, in court, Cudd tripled down on her ignorant beliefs that the election was stolen, this whole fairy tale, and she vowed to continue to fight for, quote, free, fair, and transparent elections. She did also express regret, but not for what she did on January 6th. Cudd said that she regretted that the congressional debate that day, the debate about the election, was disrupted by her and others. She stated, quote, I believe we would have a very different country if that debate process had not been interrupted that day. I mean, she's correct, right? We would have a very different country right now if Republicans had succeeded. So, I mean, let's look at how it would be different. For one, we'd be sending weapons and troops to help Russia in their invasion of Ukraine and the murder of their citizens. Yeah, if Putin's puppet was still in office, that's what would be happening. Anyway, again, I digress. After hearing everyone's statements, McFadden took issue with the prosecutor. Yeah, not Cudd, but the prosecutor, because of course he did. He said, quote, it does feel like the government had two different standards here, and I can't abide by that. So in that statement, McFadden was referring to basically everything I shared with you, that, oh, the BLM protesters were treated so much different, so much better. Really? The people who protested accused rapist Kavanaugh's confirmation. Yeah, they were treated so much better. He thinks these poor little insurrectionists are just being treated so harshly compared to people who are literally protesting the unjustified murder of unarmed Black and brown people in our country. Again, one is a fantasy, one is a fairy tale created out of whole cloth by a lifelong con artist who doesn't give a damn about Cudd or anyone else like her. The other is a real and vile practice that takes place in our country all the time and has for as long as I can remember. Anyway, he definitely has pledged his allegiance to the Trump flag, and he sentenced Cudd to only 2 months of probation. That's it. No jail time. I will say she was ordered to pay a $5,000 fine. So that is the largest fine we've seen. And then she owes a $500 restitution fee, but no community service, no jail time, even though this woman said, I will gladly do it again. And she didn't apologize. Didn't even come close to even trying to apologize for what she did on January 6th. And here's the real test. Here's how you absolutely know that McFadden is a partisan hack. You guys may recall, Cudd didn't go into the building on her own. She entered the Capitol with a friend named Elio Rosa. She and Rosa did the exact same things while they were in the Capitol, with the exception of the social media posts. So Rosa posted nothing. He said nothing. Meanwhile, Cudd, as I said, is out there bragging, boasting about her illegal activity, and explicitly saying, oh, yeah, I'll do it again. I believe that's why Rosa was allowed to plead to a lesser crime. He pleaded to only parading in a Capitol, which is a 6-month maximum sentence. While Cudd, like I said, was required to plead to the entering a restricted building. So Rosa's charges come with a maximum 6-month sentence. Cudd's charges come with a maximum of 1 year behind bars. And yet, as you guys may or may not recall, Rosa got 12 months of probation, 100 hours of community service, and a $500 restitution fee. So how does that make sense? How is it that someone pleading to a more serious crime like Cudd did, who is clearly still a danger, if she doesn't get her way in the midterms, if she doesn't get her way in 2024, what is she likely to do? Right? If she doesn't get the candidate of her choice, is she going to throw another adult-sized tantrum and violate the law? How is it she gets a lesser sentence than Elio Rosa? And remember, this is also the woman who Judge McFadden okayed to go on a vacation. She's the one who took that pre-planned, prepaid company vacation to Mexico shortly after her arrest. Like I said, Judge McFadden must absolutely, positively go. He's a hack. He's a partisan hack. He's scum. Anyway, guys, I'll let you know if I hear any more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.